Hi there, in the theme of tonight's batch of reviews, well, a couple of themes. Firstly will be red knives, and the second will be your traditional knives that I've acquired recently, slip joints. This is the Douk Douk. This is the medium sized, and it's from the Chromatique range, which just means that it's coloured. Usually the Douk Douk is like a gunmetal grey colour there and the same stainless steel blade. There's a lot of history to this knife which I won't go into, aside to say that it's 100 odd year old design, French in origin and used in wars. So when you have those sorts of things in the whole war and occupations and things like that, then knives generally get quite cool stories behind them. There's heaps of them in this Douk Douk. You can watch plenty of other videos, but I'm planning to keep this one short. So what you get here is a very handsome sort of laser etched, or etched however they do it, Douk Douk engraved blade on a single piece stainless steel handle. It is a slip joint, as most traditional knives are, with a half stop from a squared off tang. Very strong back spring in this one. I just had a case knife on the table that had the far weaker back spring than this. This is probably verging on excessive. The knife, this is the stainless steel variant. They do make one in a carbon steel as well. It's quite a broad, and because it's a naked blade, I thought I'd go for the stainless because you'll get rust spots on it otherwise. And I'm not planning on using this one a great deal, just one to fiddle with from time to time. Blade type is a what's called a Turkish clip, so you can sort of put your thumb in there. It's like a little rest spot for your thumb, and then it goes down to a bit of a clip. What made this unique, this purchase, as to most Douk Douks, was not only the red colour, and you can sort of make out the handle there still. I'll just get it in the light. Yeah. Sort of make out the figure on the handle there, sort of just being painted over or powder coated over. What made this unique was this little kit you get here. So this is a belt kit, a belt pouch for it. It goes horizontally across your belt, and comes with this little honing rod as well, which I must say is probably a little bit gimmicky. Honing rods I've always found just knock the burr from one side of the blade to the other, but it's sort of a nice little dealie at least. Sort of little brass imitation handle there, and sort of very fine fine lines. Where are we? Going all the way up to the edge of it. So perhaps I could keep this knife sharp in a pinch, but I probably won't use it a great deal. It does, however, hold the knife in quite soundly, and with the added red leather lanyard, once you push the knife in past the point of the pivot, it's actually in there quite strongly. I'm sure over time the leather will give, but for now, quite a cool little scout style knife to wear. The knife came quite sharp, but as with lots of these classic pattern knives, I think the way that they're made is they're made in a factory that pretty much only makes this knife. They're probably made quite quickly. I think they are handmade to an extent, but you do get, sort of on this example, there's several imperfections. For one, the tip came quite rounded off. That's not a sharp tip at all there, and I thought a clip point knife should have a sharp tip. The spine has it came with a few just there, you can see a few knocks on it, and it's just a few tarnishes, things like that. The grind was quite uneven as well. The cutting bevel too, you can sort of see it peters away into that. This is just more a piece of sort of knife history. I've sort of asserted before there's several classic knife patterns that I think every knife collector should try and grab, and I won't list them all now, but things like the Douk Douk, things like the Mercator, the Opinel, the K-Bar, fixed blade, a few really classics that probably all have their place in knife history that you should try and attain, and that's all I've done here. I probably will carry it from time to time just for novelty, and almost it's a kind of a fashionable looking thing, I reckon. I don't know what circumstance, but yeah, I guess if you're wearing like a red shirt or something, I don't know how much thought I put into these things, but probably not too bad looking just to have that on the back of your belt, perhaps in the small of your back. Not bad at all. This cost $28 from the Best Made company. They have a surplus section of their site, and this was surplus, and I think it still is. I wouldn't pay the full price, the $50 odd for it, but I would definitely pay $28 for it again. Quite a cool little piece of knife history right there. Now the general length, it's about 10 centimeters long. It's probably about 11 centimeters long. The blade would be 10 centimeters. That's a 91mm Victorinox next to it. Very light and thin. Without the case, it slips quite nicely into your back pocket. Very similar, in fact, to the Mercator, just without the lock. Cool. So that is that one for you there. Thanks for watching. If you like what I'm doing, please hit subscribe, or like, or comment. Talk to me. Thank you. See you then.